What's up, y'all? So today I want to talk about composting. What do I do with all my food scraps? Banana peels, date pits, orange peels, pepper seeds, whatever. Well, you're looking at it. I keep a 5-gallon bucket on my counter, and instead of throwing my food scraps into my regular trash can, I throw them in this bucket. And as you will see, some paper towels, lots of banana peels, and just all kinds of food scraps, fruits and veggies. So I'll fill one of these up at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. Just whatever I don't use, just chuck it in the bucket, and I'll show you what I do with it after that. Alright, so we're out here now at my compost pile, where I throw all my 5-gallon buckets full of food scraps. It's as easy as throwing it on the top of the pile. Done. After that, you want to give it a little mix and throw a little bit of brown material on top so that the animals don't get to the food scraps. I just use a regular pick for it. Works great. Cost me like $10. So just mix that in a little. Take some of this sawdust I have. Just pile it on top. Easily done. So ideally, I like to keep my pile sizes. This is about a 5 foot wide by about 5 foot deep pile. I usually try to keep it piled up about 3 foot high. Just keep doing the food scraps, brown material, food scraps, brown material, a little bit of compost to kickstart it, and you're good to go. Alright, so now you've dumped your food scraps into the compost pile, compost bin, whatever you're using, and you got an empty bucket which you've cleaned. The way I like to prep my bucket for more food scraps is a little secret I learned from John Kohler. Check him out at growingyourgreens.com. These are compressed wood pellets, usually used for horse bedding. Simply all they are is 100% sawdust compressed down into little pellets. So what I like to do is pour about a 1-inch layer on the bottom of my bucket, which will help when you put in moist food scraps. This stuff expands, keeps your bucket from getting as dirty, keeps it from stinking as much as it would without these. And trust me, I didn't used to use these, and I can tell a big difference. Not only will it keep your bucket cleaner, but when you go to dump your compost in your compost pile, you've already got a brown mixed with your green. So you don't have to worry about putting so many leaves in or sawdust or whatever other sources of brown you have. So I just found this a great way to keep your bucket clean and add the brown material. In this bag, 50-pound bag, bought it from Tractor Supply, runs about $4 to $5 a bag, and I'll usually go through maybe about 3-4 of these bags a year, which is great. Now you're ready to keep composting. So a few last points I like to make.
composting happens no matter what. It'll happen faster if you got the right mixture. Otherwise it'll just take a little longer, but composting will happen no matter what. I've noticed that if I keep my compost coming on a regular basis, empty my bucket once to twice a week, that the animals will actually eat from the compost and not from my garden, which is a good thing. If you have any other questions about composting, the mixture, anything like that, leave them in the comments. Let's do this.
Just chuck it in the bucket. Just chuck it in the bucket.